Hey everyone, it's G's Garage, and this is going to show you how to do a window regulator in a Fiat 500. This is a 2012 model, but it should work through most of the 500s since Fiat started producing or selling cars in the United States. This is the door panel. So you're going to have a plug here, and there's a little plug here. So pry those out with a small screwdriver, and then it should be Phillips head. Take them out, and that's what they look right there, the two plugs and the two screws. So then at the top you're going to have a little plastic piece here, and then two Allen head screws, and I think they're, let's see, they are 5mm. So there's 5mm bolts, and those come out right there. And those are the bolts right there. Those will cover you pry off. And then here's a little screwdriver I use to get those plugs out. Yeah. Maybe push them to the side a little bit so you can get a little room. Otherwise, you can kind of damage the edge of the plastic. So then here's your door release. And that's right here on the back. So essentially you're going to flip this little tab up because it goes right in there, and then the back part of it, there's a little sleeve that fits in there. So just pull that off, and at that point your door panel won't be free. You're going to have to pop it off. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plastic pins that hold it into place. So you'll kind of feel like you're going to break something, but you won't. So then once you get in here, you're going to have this. This is going to be stuck up like this, and just try to peel it off as easily as possible. I tore it in a few places because it's kind of hard. So then at that point, you're going to have your regulator. Here's your connector. Pry this yellow thing back, and then you should be able just to slide it back. Then there's 1, 2, and 3 that hold your regulator in there. So at that point, the regulator, if you take these off of here, and obviously I've already loosened these up. Otherwise, they wouldn't come off so easily. But it's a 10mm. So then at that point, it's just going to slide down like that. And there's actually kind of work it in out of there, and then it should come out just like that. So this is actually the new one. The old one, I've already taken it out, but kind of have to make sure you get it behind the glass. And it's a little tricky. Tricky to get it lined up here. I'll try to film this at the same time, but we'll keep trying. We'll get it. Almost. I think I can feel it. I'm getting warm. So I got that one. Okay, so there's the bottom one, and the top one is right there. Okay, so now So now we've got it put into place, approximately where it's going to go, and put those nuts back on. I'm not going to tighten them too hard right now. Okay, so now your regulator's pretty much in, and obviously remember to tighten it when you're finished, kind of snug them down. But right in there, you can see that's what holds the glass. So the glass is going to fit in between. This outer piece is going to go on the outside, and this piece here should go on the inside. So the glass is just going to basically slide down in there and snap into place. And then at that point, that part's done. So then you can tighten your 3 nuts up, put your connection back on, and then put the door panel back on. Okay, so what I did is I just slid the window down. It used to be right there. So I slid it down, and you can see the glass goes in there. This one is on the outside, and there's actually a little hole in the glass right there, and there's a pin on this little tab that goes in there to guide that in there, but it basically just slides down in there, and that's the end of it. So at that point, go ahead and tighten up your bolts. And obviously you can use a socket if you want to. These don't have to go too far, but just snug them, don't over tighten them. Just give them a good snug. Okay. I'll put the connection back on. And then so there it's bottomed out right there. So then just put that forward and snap it forward. Okay, so at this point, go ahead and put your cover back on. Okay, so put this back on, and the cover's stuck back on, and just make sure this is a little block that the door panel screws in. Just make sure you go around those different things, and then this is your door latch. Get that, make sure that goes through there. So then what we'll do is I just want to try it just to make sure that it works. Before I put it all back together. And it seems like it works okay. Okay, so here's about ready to put the door panel on. Before you do that, here's your latch right there. Just make sure slide this little sleeve in this little kind of a socket here, if you want to call it that, and then this one here goes in there, and then at that point just clip that on there just like that, and then you're ready to put the door panel back on. Okay, so door panel is back on, and like I said, I just made sure the upper lip was over here, and then just made sure all the pins were lined up for the plastic little pins, and then put those back in. And these ones probably, again, don't need to be tightened too much, just snug, hold them in place. And if I had to do over again, I'd probably use just like a 3/8 drive, because this thing kind of, you can see it kind of hits on the bottom of the door panel here. So okay, so those are snug, and then this clip right here just goes in, pops in like that.